Welcome back to TechRadar. I'm Matt Phillips, joined by Phones editor James Peckham. How you doing, James?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well indeed, because today we are chatting about the best smartwatches that you can buy right now. A couple of things to mention before we get going. First up, the first link you'll find in the YouTube description right now is a link to the full article where we list, I think, 15 smartwatches. We're just going to be talking about the top 5 today in this video. If we don't mention any smartwatches that suit your needs, head there, find out all about them there. Also, in the description, you will find links that will take you to the best deal you can currently find on that smartwatch. Very clever indeed. They update automatically. It makes my life very easy. We do, of course, earn affiliate commission from those links, but we at TechRadar are supported by you, our audience, and we appreciate you very much for that. With the rigmarole out of the way, James, let's jump in at the number 5 spot, the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. Tell us all about it.
Sure. This is sort of the choice to go for if you're looking for a fully fledged smartwatch with a cheap price tag. It's a lot of what we'll be speaking about during this list is compatibility, depending on whether you have an iPhone or an Android phone. This will work with both of those devices, which is a godsend for some people, especially if you're ever thinking of switching between those two elements. And the price is really good as well. You're getting a genuinely lovely design. It's not the absolute best design that Samsung's ever made. It's a much more fitness-led watch than its Galaxy Watch series, hence the active in the name. In the UK at the moment, it costs around £200. I'm not really sure how much it costs in the US, but it's one of the cheaper options on our best smartwatch list. As I say, much more focused on its fitness features than it is on its fully fledged smartwatch experience. So this is probably more of one if you're looking for a watch that can track your running with built-in GPS. It also has a rotating bezel, but it's not a physical bezel. It's essentially you can run your finger around the edge of the screen and then cycle through menus. We'll talk about that a little bit more when the Galaxy Watch 3 comes up on this list later, because that's a feature that I love personally, the rotating bezel of just giving you a slightly different way to interact with your smartwatch rather than flicking through menus. Yeah, it's a lovely piece of design from the Galaxy Watch Active 2, and again, the price is probably the real highlight here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think as well, when we talk a lot about these smartwatches, it comes down to design as well, right? People want their watch to be a bit of a fashion piece. And something I've always struggled with smartwatches is their square design. I hate it. But yeah, so the more traditional circular design on the Samsung watches, something that really appeals to me. So it's good to hear that that's in there. And obviously, we're going to be chatting about another one as we get further up the list. But right now, moving on to number 4 and the Fitbit Versa 3. So what deserves this to be in the number 4 spot?
Onto our first square watch.
I hate it. Chuck it out.
Well, it's number 4. I'm sorry, Matt. Fitbit Versa 3. Yeah, this is sort of essentially the best smartwatch you can get from Fitbit at the moment. It is the best smartwatch you can get from Fitbit at the moment. It's the first time a Versa smartwatch is featured built-in GPS, which is something that people have been begging for a while. Again, if you're looking for fitness features, this is the one to go for. You've got a fantastic app from Fitbit, which brings in a variety of different fitness features. Everything's in there, from even sleep tracking down to how much you've been drinking water, and all of the Fitbit premium features as well. You've got access to all of those. Compatibility-wise, it again works with both Android phones and iPhones. Again, we're much more focusing on fitness here. I personally don't think the design is as premium as the Samsung choice we just spoke about. It's a little bit slimmer and a little bit lighter, which for some people that would be an even better thing, especially if you're looking for fitness related devices and you want something that's going to be something you can go running with and it's not bouncing around your wrist and you're annoyed at it. Essentially, this is a combination of everything that Fitbit's done right over the last 10 years or so, however long they've been making smartwatches for, or fitness trackers for. Versa 3 sort of the top end Fitbit device you want to be going for if you're looking for fitness related stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head. You know, the price point is similar of that to the Samsung watch we just talked about. But yeah, if fitness is your focus, Fitbit is the first brand you think of when you come to these, right? And so, yeah, absolutely worth checking out if you're a fitness fanatic. So then moving on to our number 3 slot, and Apple's most premium watch at this point, the Apple Watch 6. James, tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, so this may surprise some people because the Apple Watch has always been a mainstay of this list, and it's quite often ranked in the first position between that and the Samsung watches we'll be talking about later. This year we changed things up because Apple didn't really change things up. It's a very similar device to the Apple Watch 5. There's a few different elements here. You've got sleep tracking involved. You've got a new chipset in here, which makes it a little bit more more powerful, a little bit less battery hungry, but it's still a generally very similar device to both the Apple Watch 4 and the Apple Watch 5. If you own one of those devices, you probably won't want to be upgrading to this immediately. If you have a much older Apple Watch, this is probably one for you. And on the compatibility question, it only works with iPhone. If you have an Android phone, you do not want to be looking at this smartwatch. That's a bit of a sticking point for some people, obviously, but they just work with iPhone, so that's the situation. This is an expensive device. It's I think it is the most expensive device we've got on this list. It's around £400 at launch. So you've got all of those top-end features from Apple. You've got a fantastic amount of apps. The compatibility with apps is brilliant on Apple's devices. But again, it's just not changed all that much this year, and we've mixed up our list a little bit in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. If you're an iPhone user and you're in that ecosystem, I was about to say if you're stuck in that ecosystem, sometimes how I feel. But yeah, if you're an Apple user, you're in that ecosystem. It works perfectly like you would expect every other Apple product to work. When you open your AirPods and they just connect automatically. The watch is the same. The setup process is so easy. It's that Apple magic right there. Everything just works as you expect it to. Yeah. And so maybe not a huge improvement over the 4 and 5, but like you say, if you're on one of the much older Apple Watches or never owned an Apple Watch and you're looking for the best, then it's a no-brainer. Moving then from the Apple premium side to the Samsung premium side with the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3. James, tell us a little bit about this.
So yeah, for most of you watching this, the Galaxy Watch 3 will be the best smartwatch for you. It works with an Android phone, it works with an iPhone at the same time. Again, you're getting all of the top-end features here that we've expected from Samsung. It's Tizen software, still probably isn't as good as Apple software, but it has improved a lot over the last few years. Much more functionality with apps, whole variety of new fitness features brought in as well. As you were talking about, Matt, this is a much more the smartwatch to own if you like the look of a normal watch. You've got this rotating bezel, which is a physical bezel on here. It's really, really satisfying to just run your finger around it and you can click it around. That essentially allows you to move through the menus, so you're not flicking around on the screen as much, getting your grubby fingerprints all over the screen. You will still be tapping it and that sort of thing, but just it gives it a little bit more satisfying of a feel. Again, Galaxy Watch 3 is going to be more expensive than the Watch Active 2 that we spoke about earlier. So if price is your main thing that you're thinking about, maybe look towards those cheaper devices. But if you're looking for the top design, you're looking for everything you can get from a Samsung watch, the Galaxy Watch 3 is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And, like you said, it is more expensive. It's on that more expensive side, but still significantly cheaper than the top end of Apple there. But to combat that segue, Apple introduced the Apple Watch SE, a cheaper version of their Apple Watches. Yep. So what are we losing here, and why does this deserve to be in the number one slot?
Sure, you're getting a very similar design to what you'd expect from Apple, and you're getting it for a much lower price than we've seen before. I think it launched at £269 in the UK, which, considering we were just talking about a smartwatch that costs £400 from Apple, that's a remarkable thing. You're getting all of the functionality that you'd expect there. The only things that you're really missing out on are the always-on display. But for most people, that's probably not going to matter all that much. So everything's sort of here in the Apple Watch SE. That's why it's taken our top spot this year. The battery life still isn't the absolute best. You're going to get a slightly better battery life out of pretty much every other device on this list. But if you're happy to recharge your smartwatch every couple of nights and you own an iPhone, the Apple Watch SE is definitely one to look towards. Especially, again, if you own an older Apple Watch or you've never owned an Apple Watch, probably go for this over the Apple Watch 6 because you're getting a lot for that remarkably lower price.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely worth checking out then. I'm curious, James, we've got 2 Samsung watches in here, 2 Apple Watches and a Fitbit watch, names that a lot of people would have heard about. Are there any kind of lesser well-known brands out there that are worth considering, you think?
Yeah, there's quite a few big names coming, small names coming up. Obviously, the number one that isn't in here is Garmin. If you're looking for a fully fledged fitness watch, be sure to head to our best Garmin watches list. We sort of segment them out because they're offering a very different experience there. They're not offering the same functionality that the devices that we've spoken about in this list. But if you're looking for full-blown fitness, go for that. And again, there's a load of other Fitbit devices as well in that sense. Other brands coming up, we've got things like Amazfit. They're a remarkably good brand at the moment for very low prices. And we're seeing the introduction of a few different smartwatches from the likes of Oppo. There's rumors of a OnePlus watch coming as well. And there's a whole variety of other watches within the wearOS space, which are ranked lower in our best smartwatch list at the moment. The Fossil Sport, for example, is a very cheap smartwatch now, considering all of the functionality you're going to get from that. And it uses Google's Wear OS software. So if you own an Android phone, maybe head to the best smartwatch list and look down the rest of the list, or head to our best Android smartwatch list as well.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how this list develops over the next year or two to see who takes those top spots. And if you're interested in that, maybe you're coming to this video a little bit later than when we posted it. Please do check that first link in the description. Obviously, that article will have been updated potentially by the time you're watching this video, so well worth a look. Thanks for joining me, James. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Please do drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it or found it useful at all. Please do consider subscribing to TechRadar on YouTube so you don't miss any of our future buying guide videos. And finally, remember to head to techradar.com for all the latest tech news and reviews. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.